Hi, my name's Sasha Warner and I'm a guidance counselor here at St. John Catholic High School. This video is for parents of students who are currently in grade 9 and choosing their courses for their grade 10 year. In this video, we're going to talk about the different levels of courses to choose from in grade 10, compulsory credits. We'll talk a little bit about the extended French program to make sure you know what that is. We'll talk about other compulsory credits that don't necessarily have to happen in grade 10. We'll also talk about elective credits, and because a lot of people have questions about summer school and how that will affect next year, we will cover that as well. Okay, so in grade 10, there are 3 different levels of courses. So in grade 9, there was just de-streamed and locally developed. In grade 10, we have now added an extra stream. So we have academic, applied, and locally developed. Locally developed is for students who are needing to work on the most essential concepts. It's very real world oriented. It leads to workplace level courses in grade 11 and 12, and students who are in these courses are working towards going directly into the workplace after high school. Next, we have the applied level courses. The applied level courses focus on essential concepts. They also emphasize a lot of practical applications, and these courses lead to college prep courses in grade 11 and 12. Students who are in these courses are preparing for college or trades after their high school career. And finally, we have academic courses. Academic courses are a little bit more theoretical in nature. They do apply to the real world, but they start with the theoretical part of the course. These are prerequisites for university level courses in grade 11 and 12. And if a student takes these courses for post-secondary, they will have the prerequisites they need to go to university. Now, important thing to note is that students do not necessarily have to take the same level of courses in all subject areas. So, for example, if a student is thinking about going to university, but they have no desire at all to go to university for maths or sciences, they may be able to take an applied level science, possibly an applied level math, but they would want to take an academic level English. If you're unsure where your student fits into this and they have perhaps an uneven learning profile where they have different aptitudes in different subjects, you can always reach out to myself or Tiffany Daou for advice on this. Okay, so there are 4 streamed compulsory courses in grade 10. So there's grade 10 English, math, science, and this year they take history instead of geography. In grade 9 they took geography, grade 10 they take history. And then there are 2 open level compulsory courses. So there's civics and careers and there is religion. And that makes up a total of 6 credits that are compulsory credits that grade 10s have to take. In this slide here, you can see the different levels. So English, as I said, you have your academic that leads on to university prep courses, applied, which leads on to college prep courses, and essential or locally developed, which continues on to workplace level courses in grade 11 and 12. Math, same deal. You've got all 3 options. Science, you also have all 3 options. When we get to history, there is one additional option for our extended French students, which I will talk more about extended French programming on the next slide. But for our extended French students, they would take academic history in French. Okay. But otherwise, same 3 options: academic, applied, and essential or locally developed. Okay. And then we have civics and careers. Civics and careers are each a half credit. So combined, they make a full credit, but they are completely standalone credits on their own. So your student must select them in grade 10, and civics will be the first half of the semester until midterm, and then that is complete. And then careers will be the second half of the semester, and then at final, it's complete. Sometimes it's reversed, but that's how they work. They're paired together in the same spot in the timetable, but they are two separate half credit courses. So it is possible for a student to pass one and not pass the other. And then finally, we have grade 10 religion because we're Catholic school. Okay, so let's talk about extended French for a moment. If your student has been in immersion in the past, then in high school, in grade 9, they would have taken grade 9 French, like the French language course, and they would have taken geography in French. So now in grade 10, we continue that with another French language course, and this year they would take history. However, we have a small school with a small cohort of students who are in extended French. And as a result, we pair our grade 10s and 11s for either history or world religions this year, and we alternate which one we offer each year. So this year is an off year. So students who are going into grade 10 will be choosing world religions in French. And then when they're in grade 11, they will take history in French. They will be with all of their friends that are part of their extended French programming. It's just because the size of our classes. So we just alternate each year which way it goes. If you have any questions about that, you can reach out to us. So in total, a student who's completing extended French programming is earning 7 courses in French. 4 of them are French language courses, so grade 9, 10, 11, and 12 French language courses. And then they have to teach or learn 3 additional courses in French, but it's a course in a different subject area that's delivered in French. So they have 3 courses in other subject areas that are delivered in French. And at St. John, if you follow our program, that's geography in grade 9, history in grade 10, and world religions in grade 11. This year, as I mentioned, history and world religions are flipped. Okay. A couple other things to note are that there are some compulsories that have to be taken sometime in a student's high school career. So a student must take technology in grade 9 or 10. We work pretty hard to make sure that students take their tech in grade 9 to make sure that that is taken care of and that box has been checked. But if your student did not take a tech, then they need to select a tech in their grade for their grade 10 year. On the next slide, I will show you our options for technology courses. Now, if a student took a technology course in grade 9 and really enjoyed it, they can certainly take it again. So if they really enjoyed construction, they can certainly take construction again, or ComTech, they can do the same, they can take that twice, or same with hospitality and tourism. Okay, art, at some point in their high school career, a student must take an art credit. And also same with physical education. At some point in their high school career, they can take, or they have to take a physical education course. A lot of our students will wait until the older grades when they're maybe not in their organized sports anymore and they want to move their bodies, and they'll take a fitness course or something like that. There is also the option for, there's an online health course that would satisfy this requirement. So that is also a possibility in grade 11 or 12 if a student wants to do that as well. Okay, so here's our elective courses. So let's start with the arts. You'll see here we have lots of different arts options. A couple of ones to highlight. Actually, I'll probably go through all of them because you may be curious about the differences between the different ones. Okay, so first one is visual arts. So that is intro to 2D and 3D art. Our art teacher is very flexible and she likes to run her class as a studio environment. So it isn't just going to be her telling them how to do this drawing or that painting every day. She teaches them the visual art fundamentals, and then students can follow along on projects that she suggests, or if they have special interests and they want to have more focus in different areas, they're able to do that, and she really encourages that. Okay, the second kind of visual art we have is visual design, AWD10. This is going to be our first time offering it if there is enough interest. It goes hand in hand with musical theater. So visual design is making the sets, the props, costumes, makeup, all of that sort of stuff goes in the visual design course. I would like to note that visual design, if your student is really interested in that theater side of things, we can code it as a tech credit. So if your student is needing a tech credit and they really enjoy the arts and the theater, they could earn that tech credit through the visual design course. Okay, we have instrumental music. A lot of kids know that as band. Most people are quite familiar with that. We have musical theater that we're hoping to offer this year during the school day. We're confident that that will run. We have such a vibrant arts community. In the past, we have run musical theater as an after-school program, but we're looking to bring it into the school day this year. Guitar is popular. It's not available to grade 9, so guitar is something that students can take in grade 10, 11, or 12. And then we have media arts, which is CommTech. So if you have a student who really enjoys computers, Photoshop, video, that sort of thing, they can take CommTech as a tech credit. They can also take it as an arts credit, as media arts. So depending on what your student needs, they can choose media arts or they can choose it as a tech credit, whichever is best. Okay, so if we move over to the right hand of the screen, you'll see the rest of the elective courses. We have French. For our extended French students, they have to choose French as one of their electives. Okay, so that would be their 7th credit that they are required to take. Then we have health and physical education options. So healthy active living is the sports course. So if your student really likes, basketball, volleyball, badminton, soccer, that sort of thing, they're going to want to choose healthy active living. If they're more interested in personal fitness and working out in a gym, they should choose personal fitness. So there they'll be learning how to move their body properly with weights, with stretching, cardio equipment, that sort of thing. And they're working towards their own personal goals. Tech, we've already talked a little bit about, but at the school, we have hospitality and tourism, we have construction tech, and we have communications technology, which again, that can be either coded as an arts credit or a tech credit, depending on what your student needs and what they're working on. In addition, I just want to remind you as well that that visual design course can also be coded as a tech credit. And then in addition to those, if your student is really looking to get ahead, there may be some grade 11 courses that they'd be interested in, and they can ask us, and we can give them a copy of our grade 11 and 12 electives. It's important to note that, again, we're a small school, and grade 10s do have a lot of compulsories they need to cover. So sometimes the grade 11 elective that they're really excited about just doesn't fit in their timetable because it's offered at the same time as a compulsory they need, right? Like we can't put your student in grade 11 biology if it's offered at the same time as their grade 10 history. We have to put them in history. So But sometimes it works out. So just reach out to us if you have questions about that. Okay. Now, as we're planning for next year, often students are also thinking about summer school and how that might affect their future planning. Even if you are sure you're going to be doing summer school, we want students to enter their courses as if they are not doing summer school. It's much easier to change a schedule after a student has successfully completed summer school than it is to add things back in if they were not successful or decided not to do it. So always enter your courses as if you're not doing summer school, and we'll be reaching out in August after a successful credit in the summer to adjust timetables. Registration opens in late April or early May. We send out an email to all parents. We also announce it over the school announcements and put it on Teams pages, so make sure you're watching out for that, or set a little reminder to yourself in your calendar at the end of April to be checking in if you haven't seen anything. It is very important to know that summer school is asynchronous, so it can be done on the student's own time. However, it is an entire semester of content delivered in 3.5 weeks. So it takes time in the day. Your student can't go into it thinking they're only going to be spending a half hour. Depending on the subject area, some subjects require upwards of 4 to 6 hours per day to get through the content. And it is only run in the month of July. So if your student's wanting to do that, you may want to consider whether or not they have a summer job, whether or not you're thinking about going on vacation, that sort of thing. And it's important to note, sometimes students take summer school because they're hoping to work ahead. We're a small school. We can't guarantee that the grade 11 course they want to fit into their timetable next year will fit. So for example, if your student took grade 10 English over summer school, and they really want to take grade 11 English during the school year next year, we can't guarantee that that's going to fit. So we just want to have that caveat. We'll do our best, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Okay, and if you have any questions, here's our contact information. We're always happy to help with anything you need help with. Thank you very much for your time.